Hello everyone, this is Deborah Richardson, and today I am putting the AP in Happy where accounts payable teams are empowered to protect the vendor master file from fraud. This podcast will give a voice to accounts payable team members by talking about the growing reality of cyber attacks in their world and which vendor setup and vendor management techniques they can apply to protect the vendor master file from fraud. Stay tuned. Today, I have a guest, Ashley Brinkley, Vice President of the Oklahoma Central Region IOFM chapter. And we are talking about the chapter, why we started it, her role, the benefits of being a leader, and what happens at the meetings. Stay tuned. It's going to be great. Welcome to episode 29. No budget for all team members to attend AP conferences? Network here for free. Now, in the blog post of the same name, I talked about local chapters of national AP organizations being an alternative for those AP team members that are not able to attend AP conferences each year. And I gave examples of ways that the AP team members can benefit from going to these local chapter meetings, such as meeting other AP professionals and companies in the same industries or ERPs, learning what the current issues are and what your peers are doing to handle them, volunteering to present, volunteering to be a leader, or just building a network in between meetings as well. And then I identified two national AP organizations, the Institute of Financial Operations and the Institute of Finance and Management. And both of these AP organizations have 8 chapters. So in looking at those, I thought it would be great to bring on Ashley Brinkley and have us talk about the Oklahoma Central Region IOFM chapter and why we decided to start that in October of 2017, along with Jamie Anderson, who is the secretary, and Angela Atwood, who is the membership chair. So let's go ahead and bring Ashley on. Welcome, Ashley.
Thank you.
All right, so I've known you for a while, but to our listeners, you want to just give them an intro or a background?
All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Ashley Brinkley, and I'm the Vice President of the Oklahoma Central Region chapter of the Institute of Finance and Management. I've been in accounts payable for over 10 years now. I've worked in the manufacturing industry, where the company I worked for had 3 of us in accounts payable, to the telecommunications industry, where we have over 100 people in accounts payable.
Yeah, and that is a big difference in accounts payable departments. And ironically, though, in both, you still have team members that need to keep up to date on trends, and they need to network with other same or like-minded professionals, so other AP professionals, to make sure that you're not only keeping updated with the trends, but you're talking with your colleagues about pain points that you have, seeing how they solve some issues. And so that's a great segue to the Oklahoma Central Region IOFM chapter. And so, Ashley, you want to tell the listeners how you learned about IOFM?
I learned about IOFM when the company that I work for now introduced our department to the AP certification. So our company was offering the accounts payable specialist and the accounts payable manager certifications. And I was interested automatically in the accounts payable manager certification because I met the qualifications. I became APM certified in September 2016 and was one of the first employees to earn an AP certification.
Okay. And you bring up a very good point, because back when I did my certification, my company did not pay for that. I had to actually pay for that out of my own pocket, but I saw it as part of my career building skills and certifications, educational background that I needed to have. But it's really great if your company invests in that type of training and certifications. So what made you want to become a leader?
Well, after I was certified, we held the lunch and learns for the other employees to kind of get the word out and tell them that it wasn't so scary. This is how the process works. If I can do it, you can do it, kind of thing. And I enjoyed being able to reach out to the other employees and helping them and be kind of a contact for them. And with the closest chapter was like 5 hours away.
Yeah, it was. I think it was the Dallas chapter, or even further. I think it was the Houston chapter, actually.
Yeah, I think so too. And I knew we needed that here, closer to where people in our communities and surrounding communities could come together and network and bounce ideas off of each other and just learn more about accounting in general. So when you came to me and said, let's start a chapter, I was in.
Yeah, and I appreciated that. And I completely forgot about those lunch and learns. But you're right. And we actually did it during what was it, AP Appreciation Week that IOFM has every year. And we had a bunch of activities actually, but one of the activities that you and I ran were the lunch and learns. So I forgot about those.
Yeah, those are fun.
Okay, so let's talk about then, for those folks that would like to either have a leadership role in a local chapter, or that would like to do what you and I and actually two others at the same company did in founding a local chapter. So can you share with the listeners what you do in your role as vice president, and then what you think the benefits are?
Sure. So as the vice president, I help plan all of the meetings. We meet usually weekly, a month before the meeting, to get all of the details ironed out. Of course, I attend all the chapter meetings. I fill in for you, the president, when needed, when you aren't available for calls. I've met with the sponsors and sometimes the rest of the chapter leaders to plan. Occasionally, I speak at the chapter meetings about the IOFM certifications, and being the chapter vice president has given me experience in leading and public speaking that I wouldn't normally have in my day-to-day roles. I've also made great connections with other finance professionals from other companies that I wouldn't have had the chance to meet without IOFM. So it's definitely helped break me out of my shell and be more confident and grow my network.
Yeah, and I think that's really important too. And I know you were like one of the first ones to jump on the sponsorship and the swag bandwagon for our chapter in particular. So for all our listeners, if you are in the Tulsa area, we'll tell you later how to sign up. But Ashley has created our very own IOFM Oklahoma chapter Tumblr, and she brands it with a logo that she created for us, and we include that in our swag bag. So in addition to helping to plan and then also speaking at the meetings as well, it's a lot on the back end. And some of what I do as president, I really have the responsibility of going out and making sure we secure a sponsor for the quarterly meetings. And then once we secure that sponsor, we identify a venue and then get a date that the sponsor can be there and we can all be there. And so that's really what I do. But between the four of us and really Ashley and the other two members, they do a lot of the back end work. So it's not a paid position, just so you know, it's a volunteer position. But as Ashley said, we usually only meet for 1 hour meetings or half an hour meetings going up to our meeting date. And then it has a lot of benefits on the back end. You do get a lot of exposure, you get experience speaking and helping to run the local chapter. And so, Ashley, let's talk about the meetings now, because, we kind of started off with a different format than what we have now. So let's talk about what the meetings are like.
All right, so we hold meetings quarterly and try to have a topic that will be informative and beneficial to not just people in accounts payable, but all areas of accounting. We usually try to start out with an icebreaker so everyone can get to know each other, but don't worry, they're quick and usually everyone has fun. Typically after the icebreaker, there'll be a presentation over the topic. Our first quarter meeting was over how artificial intelligence can be used in auditing expense reports, invoices, and contracts. So after the presentation, we usually have roundtable discussions over the meeting topic, as well as just topics that anyone may want to ask about. Like if they're experiencing challenges in certain areas, everyone shares ideas and things that they've done. Once all the discussions are done, we try to have giveaways and swag bags for everyone, like Deborah mentioned earlier. And on top of that, attendees earn CEUs to maintain their certification just by coming to the meeting.
That was one of our main reasons for starting the local chapter, because with the introduction of the certifications for your work, or even if you pay for one, you've got to earn those CEUs every year. It's 15 in order to maintain those certifications. Well, what better place to come and earn those CEUs? It's another opportunity to earn them, along with keeping up with trending topics and networking with your colleagues. And in my last position, I was able to go to the conferences. And when you go to the conferences annually, you are able to maintain your certifications because you get enough CEUs for attending the conference for your whole year, which is fine, because they do cram a lot of knowledge and information, and you do a lot of networking in that 3 days. So it's appropriate. But if only you can go and not every company can send their whole team. And so what does the rest of the team do? So introducing certifications at the company level, now you have to find a way for those teams to maintain their certification with CEUs, and starting the local chapter in Oklahoma was a way to do that. We changed our meetings, right? From the first one that we did, we kind of changed our format up a little bit. What day was our first meeting? Was it a Thursday?
I want to say it was a Thursday.
Yeah, I think we started off having meetings on Thursdays, and it was a 3-hour meeting at that time too. It was from 4 to 7. And what we found is that from 4 to 7, you can catch people before or just as they're leaving for work. So that part's not bad. But staying to 7 o'clock, it was hard for people to stay the whole way through because they had kids to pick up, they had dinner to make. And so we didn't get a lot of people staying to 7, or they had to hurry up and rush out of the door. What we found is that Mondays worked a lot better, and we reduced the time from 4 to 7 to 4 to 6. But, we did have to change up the format of the meetings a bit to make sure we still had enough time for the sponsor to come in and do their presentation. And so I think that really worked out well for us, moving it to Mondays, and then also reducing the hours. And then one other thing we did is we changed the venue from being at a company or at a business, like in their event center or in a conference room. We changed it to being at a restaurant. And Ashley, what do you think about the changes?
I love it, because that means we don't have to set up or tear down like we did before.
It's a lot less work for us. I guess you could say it is a little bit more fun because you get to go to different restaurants and have like different menus, right? So we had Mexican, the one you were talking about, where the topic was AI, auditing on invoicing, contracts, and expense reports. That was Mexican food. And this time we're doing Irish food. Who knows what we're going to do next time. So I think it brings a variety, and I really like the format that we've settled into.
Right, and then we also get to take part in it more than we did before, where we had to worry about getting everything together just right. The last one, we really got to enjoy it more, I think.
Yeah, I think so too. And we'll tell you how to get to the Oklahoma Central Region IOFM chapter stuff in a bit. But yeah, everybody had a good time, including us.
Yes.
So actually that did take us to our next question. So, can you tell everyone how listeners can connect with you if they wanted to reach out to you, ask more questions, or just connect with you on social media?
So you can find me on LinkedIn under Ashley Brinkley APM in the Tulsa metro area.
And to find the Oklahoma Central Region IOFM chapter, we have a LinkedIn group, and that LinkedIn group is called the Oklahoma Tulsa Accounting Professionals. And we also have a Facebook group, and that's just called Oklahoma Central Region IOFM chapter. And then we also have a website, and that is OK as in Oklahoma, so okiofm.com. And if you go to the website, or if you go to the LinkedIn group or the Facebook group, you can sign up for our upcoming meeting Monday, May 13th. So if you're here in the Tulsa area, definitely sign up to come and join us. All right. Well, Ashley, thank you very much for taking the time to come on the podcast today. Really enjoyed having you on. It was nice talking to you again. It's been a while for us. I guess we'll see you on May 13th.
All right. Thanks for having me. I enjoyed it.
So thanks, everyone. I hope you enjoyed the 29th episode of Putting the AP in Happy podcast, where accounts payable teams are empowered to protect the vendor master file from fraud. I hope you enjoyed the conversation with Ashley Brinkley, Vice President of the Oklahoma Central Region IOFM chapter. And I will include the links to the Facebook, LinkedIn group, and also the chapter page. And then also a link to connect with Ashley on LinkedIn. And I did want to clarify the meeting for the second quarter. The topic is Unclaimed Property for Finance Professionals, and it is Monday, May 13th, 2019 from 4 to 6 p.m. Please go on the Facebook group, the LinkedIn group, or the chapter page to RSVP. Thanks again, and if you enjoyed this episode, consider subscribing and writing a review of my podcast on the platform that you use to listen. Stay happy.